Welcome to Superhero Brodowns with
Zach.
and Kate.
As you guys can see, we're a little bit different now. We actually have like real bodies and not just voices.
I got a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't know that last.
Yeah,
no, I actually didn't. Anyway, what are we talking about?
So, we are gonna start doing videos with our faces now. Lucky you. Help me. But so pretty much we're gonna start doing stuff. We're gonna show our faces because it was really hard to keep track of all of the videos that I had. We had so many videos planned for you guys, and they all got pretty much had to be scrapped.
Yeah, they didn't get it out in time because our editor is slow.
I'm sorry. I apologize that I was doing so much work. Anyway, it was really difficult. We got really busy, and this is gonna make everything a whole lot easier. And not only easier, but I think a little bit better for you guys, because you guys can actually see what we're pointing to and see what we're gesturing to.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I did this at the beginning, and I do that every time.
But you guys don't typically see that.
You didn't know that, but now you do.
So
you feel involved now.
Yeah, you're welcome. So today we're talking about a very interesting topic. So it's actually relevant.
Yeah. Whoa.
Because filming.
When's the last time we were that?
I know. So still not. But
yeah.
So there was a recent post by the Russo brothers about a question someone asked them about Red Skull, and they said Red Skull is free to leave Vormir, and he is also free to pursue his desire for an Infinity Stone. That is from the directors of Avengers 4 and Avengers 3, Captain America 3, Captain America 2, all that good stuff.
They're just directors of the
Yeah.
MCU.
Yeah, well at this point they're directing a lot of the MCU movies,
Yeah.
films and stuff. But so on that note,
When you consider that Red Skull could be doing whatever he can, because obviously that's a nod to what's going to happen in the next Avengers movie, that makes us question who can come back and who deserves to come back. And in the eyes of me, I think Abomination. From the Incredible Hulk movies, he deserves a second shot, people.
he was a good villain. Not really. But I do think that there was a villain that didn't get all the justice he deserved, and that is none other than Crossbones, the phenomenal character.
But he is not Justice.
Huh?
But he is not Justice.
No,
He
he's
is evil.
Crossbones. So,
Yes.
So, we are going to be debating a little bit about which one should come back in a future MCU film. All right, Abomination or Crossbones. So, we will begin whenever you want to, Caden.
I was gonna say you may have the floor, but I guess screw chivalry. Anyway, okay, so first things first is that we can all agree that Abomination in the original movie wasn't the best. Like that, we can agree on that.
Indeed.
But I feel like they're not giving him the time of day here. In the original comic books, Abomination is an amazing villain. He's one of my favorites aside from Venom. Venom is my favorite of all time. He's great. But Abomination is still also awesome. He's one of the only people that can compete with the Hulk because he's even larger than the Hulk. He's more reptilian than they made him look like. He just looks like a larger lizard from Spider-Man in that movie, when actually he looks more scaly and more like, kind of like an alligator swamp creature, more than he does like some lizard you find on the road. But also, like, him himself has been brought back from the dead in the comics books before.
But
so
again,
they
so
can
has
do
just
that
about
same thing.
has just about like every comic book character. Superman was like, and I know you're getting at the point where it's like he's been back from the dead, like actually not just rebooted.
Legitimately revived. He wasn't rebooted.
That's happened to plenty of characters in the comic books. I'm pretty sure even Flash at one point.
But that's
most
DC.
of
Let's speak Marvel for a second.
I think probably Spider-Man at one point. But I can't be exactly sure. Alright? I'm not all the way up to date on people dying all the time, alright? Because I don't keep track of new comic books. I apologize, guys.
Donatello died.
Really?
Yeah.
Since
Did you know
when?
that?
When?
Years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I
dang
learned that when
nabbits.
I was at my old house.
Oh, dang nabbits.
Anyway, moving on. I'll tell you later. Anyway, what is your argument for this?
Okay, so Crossbones, right? He was a good character in Captain America Civil War, and he was in one of the arguably best sequences in all of Civil War. In my opinion, I think the brutality of the argument, fight, the argument, you know, just, the fight between Crossbones and Captain America was so well choreographed and well thought out, and just, it was so intense, and I really like just the gauntlets. Okay, some people really dislike them, and yes, I do think that they should show all of Crossbones' versatility in his weapons, but I do think that they should, like, focus. I think just the abilities that they gave him with the gauntlets is different than anything we've seen in the MCU so far. And
however, just because it's different doesn't mean that it can be used to its full advantage. It doesn't mean that it's good.
It was good, though. And would you agree that scene was good?
I would agree that that scene was good,
not only was
but how can you account for that was mainly Crossbones? Most of the action came from Captain America, their cooperation, which shows in your previous arguments from other videos, I don't know if that one went up, is that in that scene, it shows how, like, well together the team is. That's what that whole scene is meant to be, not to show how tough Crossbones is. That's the main focus, and so, therefore, I feel like it's not that big a thing.
Well, no, but just because we don't see the exact extent of Crossbones' like abilities does not mean that he's not powerful. And you could use the same argument for Abomination. I mean, really, and I'll help you out for a second, okay? Just because Abomination didn't show all of his potential doesn't mean it's not all there, okay? Because he still had things he didn't show, and they're the same. It's the same thing.
He gets new abilities when he comes back from the dead.
In Crossbones, he has plenty of abilities that are that were not shown. We didn't get to see that iconic shot of him with a sniper rifle that we all would love to see. All right, I would love to see him finally using a sniper rifle, or finally using just some type of weapon.
Finally kill Captain America.
Okay, well, I'm assuming at this point Captain America may be dead. All right, but in my opinion, it doesn't matter. Okay, because I think Crossbones would be good to fight just about any adversary. But who do you think Abomination would fight?
I think the obvious one is Hulk. In any future film, he can break Hulk out of his funk that he has, or Bruce Banner specifically. Him having a funk, and get him to finally break into the Hulk form. But there's
don't you think the funk would have already gotten, don't you think Hulk would have already gotten out of that by the time Avengers 4 rolls around? Like, Avengers 4
that depends on the time placement. We've stayed away from spoilers. We don't know what's going to happen. It could be immediately after the next Avengers.
Okay, I think he will become Hulk, though. He obviously is going to become Hulk again in Avengers 4.
And what would be better for that to happen than to have an old adversary come back and just fight him until he finally breaks out of that Hulkbuster suit, and we have a good old classic just kaiju fight right there.
Okay, so you're saying,
but I also think that there's other versatility there with, let's say, Spider-Man. He's fought with the Hulk, obviously seeing
Crossbones could fight with the Hulk, or Crossbones could fight with Spider-Man too, though.
Then let's also talk about Thor. That would be also kind of funny to see, like, Thor go up against his greatest adversary, one that even Hulk has had trouble with, and if he can beat him, that'll improve their relationship as, like, oh, I'm the strongest Avenger, no, I am. You know, there's a lot of things that can play out into that. And we may not even be talking about Avengers. We can go into other things. Rocket, Drax, anyone from out there, that would also be fantastic.
So, would you like to see a film where Abomination is only in it for a short time, or do you want him to be like the main antagonist?
I think that we've already seen that him as a main antagonist doesn't really work as well.
And I think that
I think that he should have what Crossbones had, but not as short. Like, I want to see him a bit more in the movie, but still not a full.
I just think with Abomination, you're gonna have the entertainment value, right? But what character development value or interesting character things, which Marvel is starting to get really great at. They're starting to get good at really solid villains, even if they're just a throwaway villain. Think about it, even Shocker was mildly interesting. And he was only in it for a very short time, correct?
Yeah.
So imagine a film where we can actually explore and dive into Crossbones again, and actually dive into his thoughts a little bit more. No, he doesn't even have to be like a full villain, though. All you need is a good screenplay writer, and we can get a very good thing with him. Whereas Abomination, what is he going to say? He's going to roar. And if you don't have him roar, then he's going to just be the normal human counterpart he was for all of the Incredible Hulk movie.
Or we could place him as a counterpart with a counterpart. Another villain to help him. It could be another Hulk villain, who knows? Or you could have a crossover with other villains. A smarter being, perhaps. MODOK, Mysterio. There are many other... Taskmaster. There are many
Speaking
other
about Taskmaster, if we're going to do Taskmaster, we might as well just put him with Crossbones.
That is a possibility, but Crossbones is smart enough to think by himself. He doesn't need additional help.
No, but if he did, they would be the ultimate tag team duo. Imagine a sequence, right, of a shield, some type of shield group, right? A group of these shield specialists, and these, Crossbones and Taskmaster just come in and they just start like massacring this group, because you can finally get to see their not only like how good they are, but just like the intensity and brutality of that. And then all of a sudden, either like someone in the new, like some new Iron Man or some new Hawkeye or some new Black Widow comes into the play, and just all of this huge battle where you finally get to see the weapons and like the brutality of that. And also think about it, what has gone well in the film so far, and especially in Captain America 1 and 2, and even 3, right? The hand-to-hand combat, or the more realistic, gritty combat. It's something that is popular with the Marvel movies.
But you're also claiming that he will use a lot of weaponry instead of hand-to-hand combat.
If he can do either way. He has the gauntlets too.
If you want to see him mainly with a sniper rifle, that's going to be distance fighting.
I'm not saying I need to see him mainly with the sniper rifle. I want to see him at least once with it. You could have him right at the beginning, sniper rifle, right, and he could just shoot that bullet, correct, and have that iconic shot. And that's all we need to get. Are you yawning right now? I didn't realize I'm boring you guys that bad.
It's been a while since I've spoken. Anyway, so yeah, I agree that it could be interesting to see, but you're also sticking with the main Captain America focus.
Okay.
We could see Abomination. He doesn't have to stick to a Marvel movie. There are other things, or not a Marvel movie.
I was gonna say, just DC picks him up.
Just sweeps him away. Disney's only going to take Abomination. Drop the rest.
Just he's in the Transformers films.
But, I mean, he doesn't only have to be in a Hulk movie. There can be other places he can go. Again, a Spider-Man movie would also befit him when they eventually run out of Spider-Man villains. Because they're going to eventually run out of villains. Who's left? Kingpin? He's mainly a Daredevil villain anyway.
He's already in the Daredevil TV show.
Exactly.
Okay. Imagine this though. Okay, you can imagine Spider-Man swinging through, Manhattan, New York City, swinging through Queens or whatever, and all of a sudden, just a bullet just hits him from the leg and he just falls face flat, and he just pans out, and it's right there. Crossbone sniped him. Crossbone gets up, starts punching him. Crossbones is finally back, trying to take down.
So you want to see this kid get completely destroyed? You want to
no,
see
not
this
necessarily.
Kid
Not necessarily. No, I do like the brutality of the fight.
And
right
who
at the
more
beginning.
brutal than Abomination? Abomination will destroy nothing in his path.
Yeah, but like at the same time though, like how much of this at a certain point with Abomination though, you just get to like ridiculous like special effect flips and explosions. With I'm talking about like the brutality is in like the sense of just how good the combat is choreographed and how like hard the hits look. With Spider-Man, he just go flying into a building, right, and just get like completely obliterated. Now it's just a big fire everywhere, and all you can see is darkness. It will end up exactly like the third act of Incredible Hulk, where you can't see a thing that's happening. It will end up like Batman v Superman, where Doomsday is just destroying everything.
Well,
do you want to see that? Do you want to see that?
place him in other places, as I said.
Daytime.
I meant in other movies.
Okay, what other movie?
Not
Batman v Superman.
Shut up. If you wanted to, you could place him in a Guardians of the Galaxy film.
You can bring Crossbones into Guardians of the Galaxy film. Whatever your argument is, you can place him in whatever movie you want.
And the same for you. The brutality, anything.
Okay, guys.
Abomination can do it.
Okay, so we're gonna finish up final thoughts, and then we'll close this one out. But make sure you guys vote on who you guys think won, because obviously I won.
Also, I ask you, because this was a problem with past videos. Do not choose off bias.
Yeah.
Choose off of what we've said. I've had a couple losses where I deserve to win.
Just because like my voice sounded more better. It just sounded more soothing.
No, it's because people like Captain America.
Yeah.
And not enough people like Green Arrow, apparently. So you went into a motivational speech. He didn't even argue with that. Anyway, Abomination's cool. Crossbone loses. Abomination totally deserves a second chance more than Crossbones because he has so much hidden potential. And I hope you believe me.
So any argument that Caden has can be used exactly the same for Crossbones.
Same for Abomination. Any argument with you can go into Abomination.
This is my closing statement. This is my closing statement. All right. Crossbones has so many powers and like not only powers but abilities, I guess, that we could see. And like he was good in a movie. And while Abomination wasn't even good, like Crossbones was at least Crossbones was a good character, and I just want to see more of that. Whereas Abomination, just Caden wants to finally see him done right because he likes him. All right, so that's my.
So after his closing paragraph, Remember, we are going to hopefully get soon into a weekly schedule with Monday Movie Madness and Friday Night Fights. We'll see you next time, Nerdfolk.
Goodbye.